What is up, you beautiful people? I am Rito, and in this video I'll talk to you guys about the one campaign that actually brought us over $17,000 at an amazing profit margin, and that campaign was not even running in the United States. Yes, my friends, I'm talking about international scaling in this campaign. I'll tell you the 2018 updated strategy for international scaling. I'll even reveal all the numbers of the campaign that I was just talking about. So pay attention, fasten your seatbelts, and let's dive in. So international scaling is a pretty tricky topic for a lot of people because while some preach that you have to start off with worldwide targeting and try to find which countries are working for you, I try to prefer the other route, which is to start advertising your products in the US, make sure the product is a winner in the US, and then move on to other countries. I know this is counterintuitive and one product might not work in the US, but it might work in other countries. A product might be saturated in the US and it might not be saturated in other countries. There's many schools of thought around this, but this is something that has worked for me, so I'm sticking to my guns. And while all strategies are different, and I do recommend you try out other people's strategies too, definitely try my strategy out as well because it has worked a lot for me. I've been able to scale profitably to several different countries on several different products, and this is going to be the compilation of all I've learned in my international scaling journey. Now, the whole concept of finding a winner has been discussed in FB ad stage 2, and when you watch this video, you'll be able to figure out the first sale chart, which lets you create the first 3 ad sets for your product, on the basis of which you're able to figure out whether a product is a winner or not, and then you can actually start gradually scaling it in the United States. Now, once you've reached a certain stage where you're getting a few sales every day from the United States, you want to move on to international scaling as well. Now, I want you to keep one thing in mind. I started scaling internationally after I had hit the first $50,000 on my store. I had already done a good amount of numbers on US, and then I started scaling internationally, and then I started to see the value of international scaling. And the myth is actually true. For some products, US might not be as profitable as would be some other countries, and it has actually been true for some of my products as well. I only moved on to international scaling once I tested the product thoroughly in the US. Now, of course, there are different ways of targeting internationally. You've got tier 1 countries, which includes US, Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. And then you've got your tier 2 countries, which includes your developing countries, European countries, and a lot of other countries out there. But I've only focused on tier 1 countries. I have tried it out in some tier 2 countries as well. It has not worked out well for me, so I'm sticking my guns to tier 1 countries. This lets you focus your efforts on international scaling on just a few countries, and you're going to find out soon enough that for many products on AliExpress, the tier 1 countries have some of the lowest shipping times. Now's the moment you guys have been waiting for. Let me show you guys the campaign that I was talking about. So my friends, this is the campaign that I was talking about. This is scaled to a non-US country. This entire campaign runs in a non-US country. As you can see, I've actually had over 275 website purchases on this campaign, $4,660 spent, $17,384 in website purchase conversions. The ROAS has been an incredible 3.73, and you can see all the numbers right here. This campaign was the one that actually showed me that international scaling is possible, and this campaign has been running for several months now. So you've got to find out these countries that work for you for particular products. Now, some products might work in a particular country, some products might not. I've talked to a few of my friends about this. One of my friends has a store that primarily works in the US and Australia only. It doesn't work in Canada, it doesn't work in the UK. So you have to actually test out your tier 1 countries and find out which tier 1 countries are the ones that convert the best for you, that give you the best return on ad spend. And the only way to do that is to first find out a product winner in the US and then move on to each country one by one. Now, in order to move on to the countries, you have to follow 2 things. First is to install a currency converter app, and I use the best currency converter. This app shows the product pricing in the local currency based on the IP address of the visitor on your page, while the checkout is going to remain in your Shopify store's default checkout currency. That feature is not there, that a person can check out in the local currency. Only one currency can be used for checkout. In my case, it is USD. In your case, it might be different, but at least what this app does is it shows the pricing in the local currency so that they're not into surprises when they see the USD pricing. In order to scale to international countries, I've just opened up an AliExpress product page just as an example right here. As you can see right here, free shipping to US via e-packet. So what you want to make sure is that there's e-packet in all the other countries you're shipping out. For example, let's say I want to promote in the United Kingdom. As you can see, there is e-packet. It's 20 to 40 days, slightly longer. Now, the only thing you have to keep in mind is that all the other ones also have 20 to 40 days, and you might want to choose 2.14 shipping cost instead of 4.47. And yes, with China Post Airmail also, you do get your tracking information. As you can see, tracking information is available. So in this case, I would actually go for China Post Airmail because it has a lower shipping cost and the shipping time is pretty much the same. So next up, let's move on to Australia. So in Australia also, they have e-packet. Now in this case, China Post Airmail does not have tracking information. I would not go for this. Anyways, the e-packet is much faster, 13 to 20 days. So I would actually choose e-packet in this case. So it is available. Boom, boom, boom. We are ready to promote in this country as well. Let's move on to Canada. As you can see, Canada e-packet is available. 16 to 26 days is what they'll take. Slightly longer, but nothing to be worried about. And the shipping cost isn't that high as well. So you want to factor in the shipping costs as well inside your product pricing. Now I want to move on to the next country, which is going to be New Zealand. All right, so here we go. Inside New Zealand also, you've got China Post Airmail, and this is what I would select here because it has an estimated delivery time that is lower than the e-packet estimated delivery time. There's free shipping and tracking information is also available. So when you're scaling to international countries, make sure you open up the product page on AliExpress and then select the country you want to ship it out. Make sure that the shipping options do have a lower estimated delivery time with tracking information available. If not, then, well, you can't scale to those countries. So now, here's the strategy for scaling to international countries. As I told you guys, you need to follow FB ad stage 2 in order to find out your best ad sets for that product. Now, once you found your best ad sets, all you need to do is just select those ad sets, create a new campaign. So each country is going to have a new campaign, and you're going to literally just duplicate those ad sets in that country. Start off with a $5 budget. And what I do recommend is before publishing these ad sets, you need to open them up in editing mode one by one. Check out the estimated audience size because the audience size is going to vary. Just giving you an example, let's say I was promoting women's handbags and I was using the interest Gucci. Now the number of people who like Gucci in the US is going to be way higher than the number of people who like Gucci in Canada or in the UK. So what you have to do is make sure that the audience size is still between 100,000 to 1 million. In order to do that, you'll have to add some interests as well. So just make sure you make those changes and then publish your ad sets. Follow the same first sale chart strategy to those newly created ad sets and those newly created campaigns in those countries. And once you find out your winning ad set from those countries, then you can start scaling, and then you can start using the FB ad stage 3, and then you can start using manual bidding, and then you can start using lookalikes. Now, one thing I do like to do is when I start scaling internationally, I create one retargeting ad set that just targets worldwide. So that ad set generally starts off with $3 to $5 in budget per day, and I just target worldwide. The same ad, the same creative that I'm using in other retargeting ad sets as well, that remains the same, just that the country is changed to worldwide so that it does all worldwide retargeting. Now keep in mind that you're going to find that some countries work for you, some countries don't, and some countries for some products might work better, for some countries for some products might not. So you have to actually test this out. Again, with everything related to Facebook ads, always test it out and let the numbers do the talking. Don't get emotional with Facebook ads. I hope you guys found value in this. If you did, hit the like button right below and make sure you're subscribed and belled to the Flying Start Online channel. And until next time, okay, ta-ta, bye-bye.